Live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, this is the QTV Nightly News with me, Jules Denjai. Thank you very much for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Senior public officials are taking part in 2 days accredited continuing professional development training on improving, influencing and implementing policy. Women gardeners in Fonyi Barafet in the West Coast region on Tuesday commended the United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO for transforming their lives through the construction of a modern onion curing and storage facility. The Gambia Maritime Administration celebrated the Day of the Seafarer on Tuesday. The day is commemorated annually on the 25th of June. The Ministry of Health is hosting a regional 3-day workshop to develop collaborative mechanism on epidemic preparedness and response for engagement of civil society organizations and community leaders. The Westminster Foundation for Democracy on Tuesday kick-started a 2-day workshop on parliamentary reporting for journalists. These and other stories coming ahead in the next half an hour. Do stay tuned. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, GK Partners, the implementing agency of the Migration and Sustainable Development in the Gambia project, in collaboration with the Ministries of Public Service and Higher Education, is organizing 2 days accredited continuing professional development training for senior public officials on improving, influencing and implementing policies. Aliou Cisse attended, and this is his report.
This training targets leaders of ministries, departments and agencies and relevant non-state institutions. Among other things, it aims to help trainees better understand and gain insights into the nature and practicalities of policy development and implementation and high professional standards and excellence in practice. Designed by Professor Jibril Fall, Director of GK Partners and MSDG Project, the training is accredited by the Continuing Professional Development Certification Service used by elite universities such as Oxford and Cambridge. During the training, trainees will come to fully understand policy and advocacy, how to influence policy and implementation, how to produce advocacy action plans for policy implementation, and how to implement the Recovery-Focused National Development Plan 2023-2027.
The training program for this week and next week focuses on an area of development that we feel need to be better structured. That is to integrate continuing professional development within the normal working schedules of our public servants.
Professor Herbert Robinson, Vice Chancellor, University of the Gambia, welcomed the training as timely and important in the country's march towards having evidence-based policy for sustainable development. He lauded the partnership between the University of the Gambia and GK Partners.
Our two institutions, no doubt, are working together on deepening our collaboration, such as expanding the number of MSDG fellowships, research collaboration to support policy interventions, and long-term staff development by tapping into the diaspora talent pool. We share a common goal with GK Partners in the pursuit of knowledge to maximize development impact through evidence-based policies and operational excellence to contribute to the objectives of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Mukhtar Dabo, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Technical, Ministry of Higher Education, and Pateja, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, respectively, said the training is a testament to the ongoing efforts to ensure excellence in the public service through continuous capacity building.
This training is more than an academic exercise. It is a crucial step towards building a resilient, efficient, and sustainable public service.
Today, we are pleased to launch what we hope will be a regular series of structured accredited training courses designed for the continuing professional development of senior public officials, which will in turn expand and enhance the development of our beloved country.
The Migration and Sustainable Development in the Gambia project was established in January 2017 by GK Partners as an innovative diaspora-led technical cooperation program. Capacity development and executive training for senior public officials is an integral part of the project. It has so far trained over 1,000 in different forms. Next week, another 2-day training will be conducted on operational excellence, implementing sustainable development. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Women gardeners in Fonyi Berefet in the West Coast region on Tuesday commended the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, for transforming their lives through the construction of a modern onion curing and storage facility. The project, funded by the European Commission, is being jointly implemented with the West Africa Competitive Program. And Sumana Esonyasi attended, and this is his report.
This onion curing and storage facility is one of 5 facilities being constructed by UNIDO in partnership with WACOM. It forms part of an extended program aimed at enhancing quality infrastructure of the horticultural value chain. Over 700 onion farmers are expected to benefit from this transformational project countrywide. Widely known for its history with onion production, the community of Berefet in the West Coast region is the first of several other communities across 5 regions currently applying advanced onion storage techniques thanks to the UNIDO WACOM EU Commission-sponsored project. Speaking to the press following a tour of the facility, Malamin Drame, UNIDO horticulture value chain expert, underscored the impact such facilities will have on the lives and livelihoods of women farmers, adding that it will also help enhance competitiveness and provide opportunities to sell their produce months after harvest at the right market value. He also said how boosting onion production using modern techniques can help reduce importation of onions.
When we have many of these facilities in the Gambia, it can act as import substitution for the country, because what we consume nationally goes up to 17,000 tons of onions annually, and our local production is below 5,000. So there's still a big gap, you see, and we can do a lot. And this is one of those activities that can help us to reduce the importation by increasing production and the preservation of the produce.
Ramatullah Jigo, Director of Horticultural Services at the Ministry of Agriculture, and Bakari Gassama, Regional Agricultural Director for West Coast Region, spoke on the benefits of the storage facility. And while they also commended UNIDO and WACOM, they encouraged women farmers across the country to emulate the women of Berefet, describing them as hardworking.
Not only West Coast, but Berefet is termed as a champion in the entire country. Be it following good practice, and be it cultivating at a large scale, and be it cultivating all year round. Because looking at Berefet, even when the other gardens are relaxing, they will be on it. So choosing Berefet and construct this type of facility in Berefet, definitely it was not a mistake by UNIDO.
We can develop our onion sector if we are ready to reduce the post-harvest loss and enhance quality market and competitiveness within the local community. So in the sense, they are trying to scale up the rural women farmers who have no time, who has no opportunity and the muscles, financial muscles to build facilities like this.
For Karafanding Baji, president of the Women Gardeners Association of Berefet, the construction of the facility brought a lifelong impact to the community and has transformed their lives, as she reports a noticeable increase in their production and earnings.
We are grateful to UNIDO and WACOM for this life-changing intervention. As a community, we have only known one source of income, and that is farming, particularly onion farming. We have struggled for years, but thanks to your intervention, we are now able to engage in all year-round production. And unlike before, we now don't worry about temperature or even where to store our produce, which forces us to mostly sell at a lower price. So we are really grateful.
Most households in the Gambia consume onion as part of their diet, accounting for around 33% of vegetables consumed daily. And with frequent increases in the price of food commodities, it is hoped that the construction of such storage facilities will help boost local production, thereby reducing reliance on and the price and importation of onions. Ansmane Sonyasi for QTV News.
And now, the Gambia Maritime Administration celebrated the Day of the Seafarer on Tuesday. The day is commemorated annually on the 25th of June. The aim of the commemoration is to raise awareness and support for those that live their lives on the sea. Rohi Samba tells us more.
The Day of the Seafarers is an annual celebration organized by the International Maritime Organization, IMO, to recognize the contribution seafarers make in our everyday lives and raise awareness of why they are so fundamental to determining the prosperity of the worldwide economy. The Gambia Maritime Administration celebrated the day on the 25th of June, beginning with a march past from the Oryx Petrol Station back to the GMA head office. Here is Abdul Sanyang, President of the Gambia Seafarers Association.
Seafaring, especially fishing, is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. There is no doubt that one good reason of this, for this danger is the nature of the workplace, the fishing boat. Fishing boats are mobile platforms floating in an environment that is alien to human nature. They are subjected to constant movement by waves and storm, and often cramped, damp, and at best unsanitary.
Despite seafarers being an essential component in the world trade, keeping the economy moving and delivering the goods and fuels we use every day, their role often goes underappreciated within the maritime industry and by the wider public. Usman Toure, Deputy Director General of the Gambia Maritime Administration, participated in the commemoration.
In the face of global economic drive, seafarers stand as an unsung heroes. Over 80% of the global trade is carried by sea, and seafarers are the lifeline of these vast networks. They connect markets, facilitate international trade, and underpin the global supply chain. Without your tireless efforts, the wheel of commerce would have come to a halt.
According to Mr. Toure, seafarers are the backbone of international trade and maritime industries. They are the courageous individuals who operate and manage the vessels that transport goods across the globe.
Previously, Gambians have to travel to Ghana, incurring high travel costs, lodging, to obtain these certifications. But today, we brought these opportunities home, making it more accessible and affordable for our people to pursue maritime education and training. This initiative is not only to reduce financial burdens, but also to encourage more Gambians to consider careers in the maritime industry.
This year's campaign is centered around to protecting the ozone and the marine environment, highlighting the significance of seafarers' understanding of environmental conservation.
I'm on board the Green Pioneer, an ammonia vessel in Singapore, and I want to extend my warm appreciation to all seafarers everywhere. We know that without seafarers, there will be no shipping, no shopping, and no supply chain. Seafarers prove their professionalism day in and day out, all over the globe, but far from the public eye. Seafarers have been sorely tested in recent years, currently facing hostile acts from piracy or in conflict zone. I humbly acknowledge seafarers' resilience and sacrifice in the name of work. Seafarers, I have seen you work on deck and below, in engine rooms, on bridges, in canteens and in cargo holds, making the world's largest methods of transportation go. And you do this with the highest levels of safety while always ready to tackle emergency situations.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Rohi Samba.
Happy Seafarer Day to all the seafarers in the world. Now, that report by Rohi Samba will take us to a commercial break. When we return, we have local stories for you, to stay tuned.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Get a QCell SIM card for free. Yes, absolutely free. Walk into any of our customer care centers and get a SIM free of charge. With a QCell SIM card, you can get the fastest and the most reliable internet plus wide range of amazing services. So rush now to any of our care centers and get a free SIM now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. This is QTV News, and now to the rest of our stories. The Ministry of Health is hosting a regional 3-day workshop to develop collaborative mechanisms on epidemic preparedness and response for engagement with civil society organizations and community leaders. With support from the West Africa Health Organization, WAHO, the workshop gathers participants from ECOWAS member countries. Momodu Lamin Choi reports.
This workshop is aimed at bolstering risk communication and community engagement in epidemic preparedness and response in the sub-region. In that drive, community leaders and civil society organizations are the prime target because of their influence in grassroots health campaign. Dr. Musa Suma is the regional chairperson of the ECOWAS Risk Communication and Community Engagement Network.
Des mécanismes de collaboration pour un engagement efficace des organisations.
With an objective of consolidating the achievements of RCCE, and we therefore have to involve the civil society throughout the phase. And this justifies this workshop, which apart from strengthening, developing our capacities, would enable us to put in place a collaborative mechanism, a coordination mechanism for an effective engagement of civil society organizations, including women leaders, for their involvement in all the phases in terms of the fight against epidemics, when it comes to communication on risk and community engagement.
Over the years, the West Africa sub-region recorded several epidemics that claimed many lives and strained health systems across many countries. By taking on board civil society organizations and community leaders, health authorities anticipate a more effective preparedness and response to combating epidemics in the region.
There were 51 new outbreaks of emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases recorded in the ECOWAS region. These 51 represent around 40% of new epidemic outbreaks notified in the WHO African region. And this means that our region remains one of the part of the continent most affected by this event. This emergency start with communities and end with communities.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Bambanding Sabali, underscores WAHO's valuable support to strengthening healthcare system for positive health outcomes in the sub-region. The Deputy PS sees the workshop as an important step for collaborative effort in pandemic management.
The engagement of civil CSOs and leaders in the RCCE activities leverages their strength towards effective RCCE, leading to successful control, recovery from public health emergencies. Furthermore, developing a collaboration and coordinating mechanism for effective management of CSOs and leaders for pandemic preparedness and control and recovery within our communities under the RCCE domain is very timely.
Strengthening preparedness for present and future epidemics is crucial to health prevention and promotion for the general well-being of the population in the West Africa sub-region. At the end of the 3-day workshop, the participants are expected to facilitate a more collaborative approach to combating epidemics. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy on Tuesday kick-started a 2-day workshop on parliamentary reporting for 20 journalists at the Nana Conference Center in Bakau. Lena Igwe Nyeba tells us more.
The Westminster Foundation for Democracy, WFD, a UK-based independent institution dedicated to promoting and strengthening democracy worldwide, aims to raise public awareness about the Gambia's parliament, the National Assembly's work, and build stronger relationships with the media through this training. By introducing journalists to digital literacy, ethical reporting, and the Access to Information Act, WFD is providing them with the knowledge needed to effectively cover parliamentary proceedings. Here is Tabusar, the WFD country director.
This workshop is geared towards supporting to ensure that information that comes out on decisions, on legislations, on policies that are passed at the National Assembly and other issues that are discussed at the National Assembly and are reported are accurate, are coherent, and to ensure that the people that this information is collected for do have the opportunity to learn what is happening and what is going on in the National Assembly. We all have a key role to play in ensuring that democracy is consolidated in the Gambia.
Mohamed Esbab, president of the Gambia Press Union, emphasized the invaluable need for journalists to understand the dynamics of parliament and have a strong grasp of digital literacy to provide ethical reports.
How do we as journalists understand these dynamics and complexities through reporting ethically to ensure that whatever is coming out, whatever information that is coming out is genuine and it is unbiased, it is objective, and it is the real truth and the gospel truth. And also have a clear understanding of digital literacy as journalists, generally, how to ensure that whatever content you saw or you see online, how do you utilize that content to ensure that what you're giving the public is the reality.
Naisise, the public relations officer of the Parliamentary Reporters Association of the Gambia, Prague, thanked WFD for organizing the training.
I want to extend our sincere appreciation to the Westminster Foundation on behalf of the Dean, Mr. Omanba. We want to say thank you for great partnership, and we believe that your expertise and resources will undoubtedly equip our members today in our commitment to serve the community and, of course, report fairly to ensure that the public is aware of the National Assembly proceedings.
Accurate and insightful reporting on parliamentary activities is essential for fostering transparency, accountability, and public trust in democratic institutions. By enhancing journalists' understanding of parliamentary processes, the training contributes to a more informed electorate and a stronger democratic culture. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwanyipa.
I'm afraid that's all we got time for, but before we wrap up this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. Senior public officials are taking part in 2 days accredited continuing professional development training on improving, influencing, and implementing policy. Women gardeners in Fonyi Berefet in the West Coast region on Tuesday commended the United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO for transforming their lives through the construction of a modern onion curing and storage facility. The Gambia Maritime Administration celebrated the Day of the Seafarer on Tuesday. The day is commemorated annually on the 25th of June. The Ministry of Health is hosting a regional 3-day workshop to develop collaborative mechanism on epidemic preparedness and response for engagement of civil society organizations and community leaders. The Westminster Foundation for Democracy on Tuesday kick-started a 2-day workshop on parliamentary reporting for journalists. That's all we have for you in this edition of the Bulletin. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another Bulletin. Thanks for watching.